Good morning. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. My name is Will Rogers. Now, I want to start off by talking about those meetings you previously mentioned on direct examination that you scheduled. The first one was on March 2nd, correct?
That was the time that Keenan had contacted.
Right. You met with Keenan?
Yes.
And Mr. Keenan expressed to you at this point that he was an undercover officer, right?
Yes, that's true.
Mr. Keenan also told you, Ms. Hyde, that he had potential violations against you, right?
Yes, that is true. I didn't really know what he was talking about, but he did say that, and it kind of freaked me out a bit.
Objection. 401, relevant evidence. Irrelevant evidence.
Okay. To which part?
We would like to know what, where the defense is getting at when asking if Keenan had contact. Keenan had violations against our witness.
Okay, well, let me ask you to rephrase the question and then where you can re-object. Whether or not you're asking about Avery Bancroft or asking about this witness, I was unclear.
Okay.
Rephrase and then object at that point if necessary, okay?
Yes, sir. Ms. Hyde, it was in this meeting that he expressed to you that he had potential criminal charges against you, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
And was it,
Now I understand what your objection
Yes,
is. So,
the irrelevance of.
response.
yes, Your Honor, we're trying to establish the background on who Mr. Keenan is and what his involvement in this investigation was to point out that Mr. Covington committed this fraud. And it's mainly for background.
I think he's objecting specifically to what her criminal past has to do with the relevance of your client. Can you
Yeah, we're
express that?
talking about Mr. Keenan's actions and how his involvement in this investigation turned into him having allegations against Mr. Covington for this bribe.
Okay. I'll allow it, but I'm going to issue members of the jury.
Yes, I'll be moving on, Your Honor.
They are only offering it for Mickey Keenan and Detective Keenan, not for this witness's credibility.
So it was at this point that you decided to continue with Mr. Keenan's investigation.
Well, I wanted to help Keenan in whatever way that I could.
So, as he suggested, you set up more meetings, right?
Yes, I did.
And the next one was on March 31st.
Yes, that is correct.
Ms. Hyde, in this meeting, you met with Avery Bancroft, that's your boss, yourself, and Mr. Keenan, right?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Bancroft expressed desire to talk to Mr. Covington, right?
Yes, that's true.
So then you went and set up another meeting on April 13th.
Yes, that's also true.
Now, in this meeting, you met with Chase Covington, yourself, Mickey Keenan, and Avery Bancroft.
Yes.
At one point in this meeting, you actually stepped out to use the bathroom, right?
That's true.
So, for the remainder of that time, you were not in the room,
Yeah, it was a pretty quick trip.
and you don't know what Mr. Covington said.
True.
You don't know what Mr. Covington did.
Yeah, that's also true.
All right, so there was another meeting on April 16th, right?
Yes.
And now this meeting was also supposed to be between Avery Bancroft, yourself, Mickey Keenan, and Mr. Covington.
Yes, that is true.
In this meeting, Mr. Covington didn't show up, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, before this meeting started, you stated on direct examination that you saw Avery Bancroft loading what you thought looked around $200,000 into a briefcase.
Well, actually, I didn't give an amount of money. I just said that it was a lot of money.
But you would say that it looked to be at least $200,000?
If I had to guess, yeah.
Now, Mr. Covington didn't ask for this money to your knowledge, right?
If you're asking whether or not I directly heard Mr. Covington say that he wanted the $200,
Correct.
$200,000, then no.
You never saw Mr. Covington take this briefcase?
No.
You never saw Avery Bancroft give this briefcase to Mr. Covington?
No.
You don't actually know what Avery Bancroft did with that briefcase.
That's true. No, I don't.
Ms. Hyde, correct me if I'm wrong, Avery Bancroft is the owner of the Black Bear Casino, right?
Yes, that's true.
And the casino deals with a lot of cash, right?
Yeah.
So you would say it isn't unreasonable for Avery Bancroft to have a lot of cash on hand, right?
know if unreasonable is the right word. I mean, it certainly would be a little odd if he was just carrying $200,000 around in a briefcase. There's
Well-
really no context in the casino that I would see that being a possibility even.
Well, Miss Hyde, you know Miss Bancroft is this owner of the casino, right?
Yeah,
And this casino deals with a lot of cash.
that's true.
So wouldn't it make sense that Miss Bancroft does have cash on hand?
Yeah, I guess I've just never seen him deal with it directly in that sort of way.
Okay, well, I want to move on to the next day, April 17th. That was the day of the vote, correct?
Yes.
And it was that day that the Midlands Gambling Commission voted in favor of Avery Bancroft's proposal.
Yes.
Now, to be clear, it isn't just Mr. Covington that is on this gambling commission, right?
Yes.
There's actually two other members.
Yeah.
And for Miss Bancroft's proposal to win, they would have to have the majority of the vote, right?
Yes, to agree.
So that means that someone else did in fact vote for Miss Bancroft's proposal.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just Chase Covington alone.
No.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Jeff.
Can you redirect?